house, oosh, 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 oosh. Welcome home, my family. So nice to gather around with you here, my brothers, my sisters. For me personally, I'm having a little bit of a difficult time. My mother has had a stroke, and there is a lot of heat, you can say, in the family, and it's not easy to be dealing with so much pressure. I am thankful for those of you who have an awareness of what is happening right now and that have been saying prayers for me and my family. What a process, what a process, what a process. Now today I have also come to the discovery that the Cassadaga bookstore did end up ordering another triangle, so I felt obligated to honor them and to purchase the same triangle that they have purchased for me. However, I have so many mixed feelings about it, so it will take some time. However, it does feel a little maybe like it's not the one for me. We will see. I am interested in having a few different singing triangles in my collection as a part of Trina Medicine and providing this type of service, and most of all where other people can play and experience the joys of sound healing. There seems to be pressure all around so many different people. I'm feeling all of this abusive energy, all of this toxicity, and it's very difficult to manage my own emotions while being amongst so much pressure. And it's kind of difficult to manage my own inner tranquility. I am feeling a sense of seeking outside of myself, hoping to have friends and family and those who are capable of providing emotional and mental support. And for those who can't supply that, perhaps financial support to assist me through my journey and my process, as things seem to be getting a little bit out of hand and control at this time. And so frustrating to feel like one is losing control and that one has no power. And all I can do is turn to my higher power and say, please God, help me, please strengthen me, please strengthen my faith, please make things easy for me, please show me the way, make it so obvious, please. I am called to listen to Florence Scovel Shinn, The Secret to Success book. Again, I have been listening to this on repeat. Repeating lessons seems to be very, very, very helpful to my journey. Listening to things over and over and over again until it is within my subconscious mind. I do have one thing to look forward to. I am headed to a restaurant called The Rain Tree. I have been inspired by my boyfriend, who was visiting me for a short period of time, to go to The Rain Tree. We did not have the opportunity to go together. However, I have a really good friend named Dwayne, and Dwayne and I haven't seen each other for a couple weeks, and he's been a very powerful mentor for me, mentally especially, and yes, pushing me to do yoga and exercise and bike riding. So he's been a very helpful friend along my journey, and I am hoping that he will give me more permission to record more of him. I have recorded some videos involving him in our talks, and I certainly enjoy the inner work that he has put in, and his presence has been a great presence in my life. So I'm really looking forward to spending time with a good friend. Yesterday I had the blessing of spending time with Brian and Michael. They came over for a little bit and we were able to share a meal together. Brian cooked up some of his food, I cooked up some of my food, and we combined, and it was really, really nice to spend time together. I'm so blessed to have these sacred connections, these sacred unions, these sacred friendships, brotherhoods, you know, in St. Augustine. And I am praying and hoping that no matter where I live in the world, that I will always have this divine community and those that I can rely on, you know. And my partner is such a wonderful human being, and Sometimes I wish we could just spend all the time in the world together. However, he has his own life and his own purpose and his own service to the divine and his own job and all these other things. So I'm grateful to have friends and family who can be my companions in the times where I am not given permission by God to be snuggled up in his arms and to be kissing him and looking at him, even though I am totally daydreaming all the time of that blessed opportunity. However, there seems to be so much jealousy and so much control and so much hatred. It's almost like true love isn't truly accepted on the planet. There's so much ownership and control. And it's really frustrating, because all I'm asking is from just like a little piece of this earth for some freedom. Some freedom to exist and to create in the way that serves me the best. Instead of being jealous that I have love, try to see myself as you and say, yay, we have love. There's love, real love. Not based on any brainwashing or I need to be with this person because I need a place to live or because I need money. None of that. How many people are with people because of codependent issues or because of just how someone looks? I am one who enjoys to see the soul, and I am not one that is for racism, and I am not one that says that I don't see color, because I am one who greatly appreciates and honors all of our differences instead of attempting to, you could say, take for granted all of our different cultures. There's so much that each culture teaches and each lineage of peoples who have so much to teach. There's so many different ethnicities and so many different foods and so many different ways of religious teachings, and there's just so many different things in life that exist that I would much rather live in a world of such variety and contrast than to have such extreme control and manipulation and force. That is just not the way to me. So many of us fail to see and recognize that so many of us already are hybrids. We are natives. We are mutts, you can say. Mutts, like a dogs, like we're hybrids of all these different races. And I believe in unity as a human organism. Like for all of us to see ourselves as a cell in a network and to see how we coexist together and how important it is for us to have this truth, to have this deep understanding of the importance of planting seeds, creating food, creating oxygen, instead of worshiping idols, worshiping other people instead of really, really adoring ourselves. Many times we are worshiping the other because they remind us so much of ourselves, and we have such a hard time seeing ourselves. Sometimes it goes the other way, like we really don't like certain things about ourselves, so we are attracted to someone who is nothing like us because we use them as motivation and inspiration to become a bigger and greater person. My biggest wish my entire life, since I was a little girl, call me brainwashed by Disney movies, but I've always wanted true love. True love meaning unconditional, positive regard, you can say. And I understand that that does not mean that it is true and that it exists, aside from clearly divine source. Perhaps not everyone has experienced this truth that I have just stated. I have so many different teachings that I have come to see and know and understand in my life. I am just so blessed as a soul. Sometimes I am eager to just keep living so that I can expand my soul and expand my consciousness and level up to an even further extremity of goodness, because this goodness is just so good, and I am so excited and pleased that I am eager to get to better, especially once I go through difficulties and challenges. It is only through then and through that I truly start to value and recognize the difference of all the different ways of living and being. It has been such a process. This sunset is so beautiful. It makes me so happy. At the same time, I am so stressed and filled with worry and anxiety because of all these different awarenesses that have been projected upon me that aren't necessarily my reality in the present moment, as much as an awareness of someone else's reality that is someone that I care about, that I feel also pulled into their center. And my inner kid is eager to have a partner, a husband, a life mate who is totally down with being a part of my hell or my heaven, all that is my world, and being with me through this process. And I'm not interested in force or control or begging someone to be there. I am interested in natural states. Perhaps that is biology, or I'm not really sure. I am just aware that some things just happen natural, kind of like a hummingbird ironically flying directly into my face after I have held such deep acquaintance with the hummingbird, representing God and representing those who are along the path of being a healer, transmitting positive energy and positive language. It is not easy. It is so difficult at times, and even I still struggle, after all this time. And there are so many times where I'm like, ego, like I am better and I have grown and I have outgrown all of that childish ways stuff. And then I am put into an experience where I'm like, I'm just a kid again. And that's okay, and it's part of the process. Thank you so much for listening and allowing me to share with you what I have received. I apologize that I am not in a more high vibrational state, because I recognize that there are other people that are absorbing this frequency. Then there are those who have outgrown this frequency and that can send back and transmit a more positive frequency. And that is one of faith and hope and trust in God. And for those of you that have that strong connection, wow. I wish that we were closer so that I can see and think and feel in this way so many times. Because so many times I lose sight and I forget that there even is a divine universe or a source or a God, whatever you choose to give language to that if you are not a believer. That makes me think of this song, ooh, I think I found myself a believer. She is always right there in front of me, or something like that. Ooh, I love that rap song. Yes, I do. Thank you, Yusuf, for showing me that beautiful song. I love that song so much. Believer. I am interested in learning more about Yom Kippur. I wish I had more friends who practice this religion so that I can pick your brain and understand. Are you fasting? I'm reading all of these things, and I am talking to a few individuals who are practicing this religion. However, not everyone is practicing the religion the way that it is stated online. So I'm interested in those who feel that they have a sincere connection to Source to please educate me. Please. How have you come to know God? What are you doing with your life and your time? What would you teach if you could? Please let the comment section be a space for you to share your voice, to share your mind. And if you have any questions, please leave those too, so that there may be a space that perhaps it can be answered by someone else. If you can be so brave to leave your question in the comments. We have such a beautiful community here on my channel. I'm so blessed to have all of you in my world. If only I could get you all to be friends and talk to one another and to see the power. We are only 6 degrees of separation, so please see your beauty, please. Our physical bodies are just illusions. They are completely meaningless. Sometimes even I have lost sight of that, and I am only feeling beautiful and I have makeup on. Or if I am expressing myself in select fashionable ways. I have been indoctrinated into the culture of our society, of America, you can even say, of this brainwashing of materialism. And sometimes it is so hard not to play the game. I am evolving more and more every day, and and I am looking forward to my extended growth. Again, saying prayers for me to level up and to help me see. I'm not even sure what to pray for. This is why I'm interested in listening to more of Florence Scovel Shinn, because I am learning so much about prayer. Some of you are amazing prayer people. I don't even know what to call you. A prayer artist? Like, some of you just know how to pray so specifically. It's almost like you were trained in prayer. And I think knowing how to pray is just so important too. And I understand that it is done in private and in silence. It's almost like a secret. Sometimes my wish is for the whole world to know God, and I cannot help but not be quiet. But sometimes it seems like the louder I am, the more resistance and pushback and hatred and lack of involvement that is occurring. And I am worried that I am contributing from that lack, or to that lack, should I say. Perhaps we can all hold a space of silence and say a prayer for the whole world right now, for us to gain clarity, for us all to wake up and remove the veil from our eyes, as they talk about in the Quran, and remove the plugs from our ears where those of us who have been deaf, the veil. Hopefully you can hear me, and those of you who can hear me, I am blessed for you to even care so much to listen to me. Sometimes that's a price tag in itself, having someone who cares. However, perhaps you could also let me know, say, hey, I care, I'm here, I'm available to you in this way. Know your boundaries and be clear what God is guiding you to do in my life. Are you here to be financially supportive? Are you here to be a listening ear? Are you here to abandon me and reject me and hate me? What is your purpose? What is my purpose? Take your time, go slow. Maybe walk barefoot in nature. It's about to be getting really cold all over the country, right? In America. I am totally wishing I could also leave the country and travel. However, I am hearing rumors how difficult it might be to return to America, and also how other countries aren't really wanting Americans at this time because of this virus. Brainwashing, man, indoctrination. It makes my head hurt. The lack of trust and faith. Call it the mark of the beast. You know, those being muzzled, not truly seeing the truth, forgetting their Savior, their King. Part of me feels extreme excitement. Please know that when I die and when I pass away and when I go home to that sacred space, please know that it was my time. Just know that no matter when it happens or how it happens, if I'm exterminated by an external force, no matter what happens, divine timing is everything. Light is all there ever has been and all there ever will be. As Crystal River Silver Moon, that's the name of the band, that's their lyric. Or should I say Madison Bar? Or is it Carr? I'm not as big as a fan as I thought I was because I'm so stupid and I don't know her name. I forgot her last name. It might be C-A-R-R. Also known as Crystal River Silver Moon. That's the band name. However, I think that's their name when they're together. And Scott has moved far away. Miss my friend Scott. Still have those beautiful, 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 beautiful music videos that I have shot though. I appreciate you letting me channel all of this energy and returned back to my center. I went from being very sad and depressed and feeling like a meaning crisis and feeling very alone and like I had no one, to suddenly feeling like I'm with God and that's all that matters, is that relationship. And sometimes I lose sight of it and I forget it all the time because I'm like wanting another person who's like me. Someone to be like super duper lovey-dovey and about adventure and romance and courtmanship and chivalry, all these beautiful things that I have come to see and know in my lifetime, and that I wish to just, experience roses and the smell of lilies, and just experience all the greatness of life, like the warmth of the sun. Oh, the glory of the warmth of the sun. My soul is so hungry to travel and explore and grow and expand, and I am so crushed and broken because I feel the energy of Jesus Christ being exterminated, penetrated right through the heart. I feel it. It's not fair to kill my people. It's not fair to kill me. I am worthy of having a space on this planet to express and be myself without your influence, without your contribution, without your control, without your manipulation, without you telling me what to do. I am free to be underwater without it being on camera. I am free to be happy underwater without making it a job. I am meant to have fun. And I am meant to be funded for what work I am providing. I am in need of survival just like every other human being. I am not God. I feel the energy. And some of you do too, and I'm so blessed. Those of you who see and know this truth, I love you so much. I love you so much. You have to know how much I love you. Have to know. And if you see and feel and know this, then know how much God loves you. But so many of you are just so turned off and tapped out. You have forgotten. Do not choose to forget. Choose to remember. Remember, atonement. Yom Kippur is all about atonement, atonement. So recognize all the wrongdoings that you have done. We are entering all these different phases of Saturn, and we are in the shadow period of Mercury retrograde. So be aware of these planets and these alignments and what has been known by generations of people, instead of being ignorant to the little bit of information that you have chosen to cling to and to know. Again, know that I love you so much, and if I could spend more time with you, I would. Just know that God is calling me, and I have so much work to do on this planet, and I am in need of a space to do it, and I am in need of having partnership with people who are in alignment with co-creating this reality for me. And I have trust and faith in God that I will be supplied with the perfect partner to create with me in this way that I am meant to provide service, and that they will assist me to do what I'm here to do. And one thing that I see me doing all the time for people is washing their feet. I've had the honor of doing this for one woman so far. I'm interested in doing it for other people and giving spiritual baths. I am learning so much. Thank you, Keith. Thank you, Keith. By the way, let me give a shout out to Keith, dude. My Dudist priest, my fellow Dudist priest. This Dudist priestess says thank you, thank you. Look at the beauty of the sun that shines that moment I say that thank you to you, brother, okay? Thank you for purchasing me that beautiful gift of the ritual baths off my wish list. It's a little overwhelming, all the information that's in the book. I've been playing with it by randomly opening and pointing and coming across certain things I experience are really near crying, weird otter God experience, right? So Brian's over at my house. He brings oranges, and I'm questioning, why did Brian bring oranges? We're not going to eat these oranges. This doesn't make sense. I randomly open the Ritual bath, and guess what's in there? The pages for putting orange slices in your bath. And I was like, thank you, God. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ask and you shall receive. People forget. I had some of the most amazing sessions today in Cassadaga, and I love being of service. There is nothing. I almost want to take that back and slow down. I was going to say, there is nothing I love more than being of service. And, I don't know, I do love a lot of people, and I do love so much. So, do not let me limit my love, okay? Just know that I am very excited. I'm excited for my future. And I am blessed with all these opportunities. I am interested in creating a store. And the way this world is going, I might be better off creating an online store. So I might have to make my own official website, because this eBay thing just isn't working. I'm going to need another place, okay? And I'm interested in coming together with more women. So ladies, if you're listening to this, if you're my friend, you're my homegirl, hello, hey. I'm especially interested in girls that are involved with sex work, or being a web camera girl that have had their psychology messed with in all these different ways. I'm interested in being of service to you and assisting you to reprogram your brain and to see your worth and how valuable you are, and to stop allowing yourself to be owned and controlled and manipulated or influenced, or to feel like you have no self-worth or you have no purpose. I'm also interested in helping men. I'm interested in helping as many people as I can. However, I have been through a lot of very specific things, and I am guided that I will do best if I can be granted the opportunity to help people in that line of work, which is why I was thinking about going on some of those other web camera websites, so that I can be available and into the consciousness of people who are doing that work now, that I can provide a portal for them to receive affection, acceptance, loving kindness, and the release that they're looking for. Some people think that they need the sexual release, but it's so much more deep and cosmic. And I've also been brought into the awareness of the potential of me working for WWE. And if I could receive a contract on my terms, meaning we co-create together WWE, you understand? And maybe if not WWE, like another big company, you know, maybe Ring of Honor. You know, I used to always love Ring of Honor. Or even a Japan industry. You know, I'm pretty open, but I'm really in love with professional wrestling. And I wouldn't mind making a great amount of money from being a professional wrestler. And I am understanding that with the proper training and the proper trainer, that I could be an incredible athlete. And I have had some really great people help me be in my body after going through rape, trauma, and all these other things that make it difficult for me to be inside my body at times and to move. Okay? So professional wrestling, yoga, Muay Thai, all these things help me so much. And I'm interested in pursuing. There were a lot of people who were bullies to me in my youth when I was 18, that when I was a webcam girl, that they would tell me that WWE would never hire me. Never hire me. Because that I was nasty. And that I wasn't welcome to ever be a wrestler. So if you have any connections with WWE, or if you feel ever so inspired, feel free to plant the seed of my name and say, hey, I think you should train Trina from nothing into something. Because I would love to throw around some of those girls in the ring. And I wouldn't mind being thrown around a few times myself. Hey! I love professional wrestling. It is such a beautiful art and such a beautiful glory. And I believe that I would be a great representation of the character I would like to see emulated and copied. I had originally started a gimmick of being a heel, of being a bad girl, of your spoiled brat, a rotten American princess who has everything, which, as you can see, WWE has already kind of copied my gimmick with Sasha Banks, right? So, with that in mind, imagine if I got to be me and wrestle like that. I think it'd be fun. I could be a typecast, kind of like Santana Garrett, huh? Santana Garrett would back me. She's a great girl, and I love hanging out with Santana Garrett. I'm so proud of her. I'm proud of Mia Yim. I'm proud of Leva. Man, it is just beautiful to like train with all these girls and to watch them all ascend. Meanwhile, like all these other girls got this jealousy. You know, there's 2 other girls that come to mind that made it, and they were also meaningful to me. I'm not going to plant the seeds of their names. I have them in mind. I wish I could remember their professional wrestling names so I can use that name instead of the name that I am remembering them by. So much emotional and mental connection with that, and spiritual especially, you know? So, you know, I've been seeing these JCW license plates everywhere, and this all goes back to the story of my grandma. You know, my grandma around Christmas time was going through dementia, Alzheimer's, like all of that fun stuff, right? And my dad tries to make light on the drive home, right? It's on Christmas, mind you, right? And we're going to get some Chinese food at the time because it's the only thing that's open and we hadn't ate yet. So fortunate for us, we got to have a meal together. And I remember going on the way and my dad said to me, "Trina, are you ever going to wrestle again?" And I was such a brat. And I was in such a foul mood. I said, "Dad, I'm never wrestling again unless I work for Juggalo Championship Wrestling as the Toxic Butthole." And the Toxic Butthole name came because my grandma suffered from colitis attacks, which is also known as going to the bathroom on yourself. And she worked for a company called Publix, which is a grocery store here. And through that company, you could get disability for having alcoholism, but my grandma couldn't get disability for colitis attacks. So my brain was just so infuriated, you know? And you know something funny? 6 months, exactly 6 months to the dot of saying that exact statement to my father in heaven, all these different things, right? I became a wrestler as the Toxic Butthole for Juggalo Championship Wrestling, wrestling at the Gathering of the Juggalos. For my first gathering ever, I was paid, and it was my first paid wrestling assignment. I mean, maybe when I was a kid, I might have been slid like $20 or something like that, you know, for paying my dues and setting up the ring and all that great stuff that comes with the part of being green and in the business. But, man, and I'm not going to pull a Ronda Rousey, if you know what I mean, you know what I mean? Those of you that saw that interview and all that, okay, I'm not going to pull any of that. I'm going to respect the business, all right? And I might need some training on how to respect the business a little bit more, okay, I'll be honest. But hey, I'm really passionate. I'm really, really passionate. I got a lot of love. My heart's completely open. My mind is open to learning. And I'm really interested in going back. That's all I'll say. There's something else that comes to mind. And you're going to have to hold and wait. And I may talk about wrestling a little bit more later. And I'm definitely going to talk more about wrestling later. And this learning actually came from studying a little bit more on a special wrestler that has a very special name that I am forgetting the name. It just recently came up in the conversation with my boyfriend, and it got me really excited, and he taught me a lot. And then we learned a lot together about wrestling in this new way because of us challenging each other's ideas. And it was really profound and beautiful. I'm open to traveling. So this whole contract with WWE thing could totally work out. And I'm not afraid of some injuries, okay? I was in the past with my shattered ankle from skateboarding when I was little. But hey, you know, I'm pretty sure WWE takes pretty good care of their injuries. So I'm open to that. And I'm also like pretty professional and on my toes. So as long as I'm with someone who is also professional in the ring and that knows how to do business, and even then I'm willing to work with other green people, you know, because I would love to give them an opportunity. And my inner kid self is also lighting up right now thinking of Flex Magnum, one of the first men that I wrestled, along with Max Stardom, who taught me my first sunset flip, you know, training out in Rusty Brooks School of Hard Knocks, his backyard training. You know, I mean, it wasn't training for backyard wrestling, but Rusty Brooks was training out the back of his house. And we had this ring, and he had this epic pit bull dog that I love so much, Sadie. Sadie was so sweet. My love goes out to all of them, man. I hate to see all these people I love go through all these health complications, like Snake Master, man. Like, all this is like, and it's really sucky when you love people and they're going through this stuff, right? Like my mom, right? But I feel like I've been preparing for death and all this stuff my whole life with my family situation. And as I age, I imagine I will be more open and truthful about a lot of things that I have been through if I am granted the opportunity to live that long. I'm also interested in writing several books and possibly having a partner with that, you know, someone who is amazing at proper formats and publishing and that is willing to help me put into the work to get my being captured into something that can be contained and absorbed by other people, because this could easily all be erased just like Alexandria, right? Again, thank you so much for spending all this time with me. It's time for me to part ways with you. I love you so much. My boyfriend's texting me. I love him very much, so let me give him attention and let me prepare myself for my friend Dwayne. Yes, we are one, we are one, we are one, we are one family. Family, family, what family, what family, yeah. Okay? Don't forget, if you need a sister, if you need a friend, I am here. Do not be shy to reach out and to tell me, Trina, I'm having a hard time being here.